I waited for retirement for 40 years, dreaming of freedom, thinking this would be my golden time to finally live for myself. When retirement came on that Thursday morning, I felt pure euphoria. No more alarms, deadlines, or demanding bosses breathing down my neck. But by Friday afternoon, something strange started creeping in. An emptiness I'd never experienced before. Like a void opening in my chest. Within just 1 month, I found myself crying for the first time in decades, overwhelmed by a crushing sense of purposelessness. Friends, write in the comments where you're watching us from, and hit like if you want to know the most surprising and unexpected truth about retirement. Nobody warned you about this dark side because society sells us this beautiful lie that retirement equals instant happiness and relaxation. The truth is, work wasn't just providing me money. It was secretly giving me identity, purpose, structure, social connections, and meaning. When I walked out those office doors for the last time, I didn't just lose my paycheck. I lost myself. The first week felt like paradise. Sleeping until noon, watching endless Netflix, eating whenever I wanted without rushing anywhere. But week 2 brought this creeping boredom that felt different from anything I'd experienced during busy working years. By week 3, anxiety started hitting me like waves, my heart racing for no apparent reason, sleep becoming fitful and broken. The 4th week brought full depression. I couldn't understand why I felt so miserable when I'd supposedly achieved the American dream. Research shows that 1 in 3 retirees experiences severe psychological distress within their first year of leaving work permanently. Let me explain the 5 invisible losses that hit every retiree like a psychological tsunami they never saw coming. Loss number 1 is identity. For 40 years, when people asked who I was, I said engineer, not just some random human. Loss number 2 hits even harder. The complete destruction of time structure that your brain has relied on for decades. Your brain literally doesn't know what day it is anymore because every day looks identical without work anchoring your schedule. Loss number 3 destroys your social world. 80% of your human interactions probably happened at work every single day. Overnight, your social circle shrinks to almost nothing because work relationships rarely survive the transition to retirement life. You realize those weren't really friendships. They were workplace proximity relationships that evaporate when proximity ends. Loss number 4 cuts deepest. That essential feeling of being needed, wanted, and valuable to other human beings. Nobody calls asking for your opinion anymore. Nobody depends on your expertise. Nobody waits for your approval on important matters. Loss number 5 completes the destruction. Without clear goals or purposes, your brain actually starts deteriorating faster than normal. Your mind needs challenges, problems to solve, and objectives to pursue, or it literally begins shrinking and losing cognitive function. When I finally admitted to my wife that I was struggling, she was shocked because I'd been pretending everything was perfect. My doctor explained that retirement depression is incredibly common, but rarely discussed because it challenges our cultural narratives about golden years. That's when I realized I needed to completely rebuild my life from scratch, starting with creating new structure and purpose. My wife noticed at first how I'd wake up every morning and just stare at the ceiling for an hour. "What are you thinking about?" she'd ask, and I had no answer. Literally nothing. My mind was blank. That's when I realized something terrifying. Work wasn't just my job. It was my entire operating system. For 40 years, every morning I knew exactly what to do. Check emails, review reports, solve problems, make decisions. Now I had 16 hours of daylight and 0 obligations. Sounds like paradise, right? It felt like prison. Friends, write in the comments where you're watching us from, and hit like if you want to know what's the most surprising and unexpected part of this story. Week 3 hit me like a truck. I couldn't concentrate on anything. Not TV, not books, not conversations. My brain was like a computer trying to run without software. All this processing power, but no program to execute. That's when the panic attack started. heart racing, sweating, feeling like I was dying. But the doctors found nothing wrong. My wife dragged me to Dr. Rodriguez. He listened for 5 minutes and said something that changed everything. "John, what you're experiencing has a name: retirement syndrome. And you're not crazy, you're not weak, you're normal." That night I did something I hadn't done since childhood. I cried, really cried. And it felt incredible. The next morning I made a decision that saved my life. I was going to architect my new existence. Step 1. I called my old company and volunteered to mentor new engineers. 2 hours every Tuesday. I knew how to solve problems when Google doesn't have the answer, when the manual is wrong, when everything breaks. That young woman, Sarah, came up to me after our 3rd session. "Mr. Johnson, you just saved me 6 months of mistakes." For the first time in months, I felt that electric feeling. Someone needed what was in my head. Step 2 is harder. I had to learn something completely new, something that scared me a little. The first class was humiliating. Surrounded by teenagers who knew more about cameras than I knew about breathing. But something magical happened in week 4. I took a photo that made everyone stop talking. It was my grandfather's wrench, the one he used to build half the bridges in this county. The instructor, this hip 20-something with purple hair, said it was the most powerful image she'd seen all semester. That's when I understood something profound. Retirement isn't about stopping, it's about starting over with wisdom. I had 40 years of stories, failures, successes, and hard-won knowledge. That's not baggage. That's treasure. Step 3 transformed everything. I started documenting the old industrial sites around town before they disappeared forever. These places built America. In 20 years, they'll all be condos and coffee shops. Someone needed to remember. The Historical Society asked me to curate an exhibition. Industrial Memories, the Faces of American Manufacturing. Opening night, over 300 people came. Workers, engineers, families who'd lived through the changes. This old guy, probably 80, stood in front of my photo of the steel mill for 20 minutes, just crying. He walked over and grabbed my hand. "Son, that's where I met my wife, 58 years ago. Thank you for bringing it back." That moment changed everything. I wasn't just a retired engineer anymore. I was a memory keeper. A storyteller. 1 year after that horrible Thursday when retirement began, I woke up excited. Actually excited to start the day. I had 3 mentoring sessions that week. A photography workshop to teach, an exhibition to prepare for next month. My wife said something that brought tears to my eyes. "I have my husband back, but he's even better than before." Here's what nobody tells you about retirement. It's not about having enough money, though that matters. It's about having enough purpose, enough connection, enough reason to care about tomorrow. If you're approaching retirement, don't wait for it to hit you like it hit me. Start preparing now. The answers might surprise you. They might scare you. But finding them before you need them could save your life. Retirement isn't the end of your story. It's chapter 2. And if you write it right, it might be your best chapter yet.